From the windswept heights of the Lake District to the eerie stillness of Puzzlewood, England's landscape is endlessly fascinating. With ancient forests, towering sea cliffs, mysterious valleys, and even wetlands shaped by human hands, the country is packed with natural wonders that each tell a unique story. So come along on a journey through some of England's most remarkable natural landscapes, and be sure to stay until the end. You won't want to miss a single stop. Lake District National Park. This is the place to go if you want to explore England's highest mountain and its deepest lake. The Lake District, an awe-inspiring UNESCO World Heritage Site nestled in the northwest of England, covering more than 2,300 square kilometers. As England's largest national park, it captivates millions annually with its dramatic fells, shimmering lakes, and charming villages. The park is defined by its numerous lakes, each possessing a distinct character. Windermere, the largest, buzzes with activity, offering boat cruises and a myriad of water sports. In contrast, Wastewater, England's deepest lake, presents a more rugged and awe-inspiring vista, framed by towering mountains. Derwentwater, near the bustling market town of Keswick, is adorned with islands and provides a serene backdrop for leisurely pursuits. It was also once glaciated, and its U-shaped valleys, craggy ridges, and ribbon lakes are remnants of the Ice Age. These aquatic wonders are complemented by the mountain's backdrops, including Scawfell Pike, England's highest peak. These mountains invite you to embark on invigorating hikes, rewarding with panoramic views that stretch across the verdant valleys and sparkling waters below. Today you can hike over 3,100 kilometers of trails, explore charming stone villages like Grasmere and Keswick, or discover Roman ruins such as Hardknott Fort. The park also played a role during World War II, when some of its remote areas were used for secret military training. Its combination of natural splendor, cultural richness, and historical depth makes it a living classroom for geography, ecology, literature, and history. This park isn't just a natural wonderland. It's a cornerstone of British cultural and literary history. It inspired generations of writers, including William Wordsworth, who wrote extensively about its tranquil lakes, rolling hills, and rugged fells. Wordsworth's Guide to the Lakes, published in 1810, wasn't just poetry. It became one of the earliest pieces of environmental writing. Beyond poetry, the region also played a role in conservation history. Beatrix Potter, beloved author of The Tale of Peter Rabbit, used the proceeds from her books to purchase and protect large areas of farmland here, later donating them to the National Trust. High Force Waterfall. Located in County Durham on the River Tees, High Force is not only one of England's most dramatic waterfalls, but also a geological wonder shaped by 300 million years of natural history. With a 21-meter vertical drop, it's the highest uninterrupted waterfall in England, plunging over a cliff formed from the ancient Wind Sill, a layer of hard igneous rock that also underpins Hadrian's Wall. The waterfall's name, High Force, comes from the Norse word foss, meaning waterfall, reflecting the region's Viking heritage. The surrounding landscape tells a story of colliding continents, volcanic eruptions, and ice age reshaping. But it's not just geology that makes High Force significant. In 1880, the site gained attention during a major flood event that altered parts of the river path, revealing fossil beds and ancient strata. During the Industrial Revolution, the nearby River Tees was a vital artery for transporting coal and steel, and High Force became a popular subject in Victorian travel journals and sketchbooks. Today, it lies within the North Pennines area, and its surrounding woodlands are a haven for wildlife. Peak District National Park. This is the first area in Britain to be declared a national park. Established in 1951, the Peak District sits at the heart of England, spanning parts of Derbyshire, Staffordshire, Cheshire, and Yorkshire. It bridges two distinct geological regions. To the north, the Dark Peak, with its rugged gritstone edges and moorlands, and to the south, the White Peak, where rolling limestone hills, picturesque valleys like Dovedale, and charming villages. The park is a magnet for hikers, cyclists, and cavers, offering over 2,000 miles of footpaths and access to places like Mam Tor, Mother Hill, known as the Shivering Mountain. This hill offers breathtaking 360-degree views, especially from the Great Ridge Walk. Kinder Scout, the highest point, offering challenging and rewarding hikes with incredible views. Dovedale, famous for its stepping stones across the River Dove and stunning limestone ravines. Stanage Edge, a dramatic gritstone escarpment popular for both walking and rock climbing, with panoramic views. One of the most striking features in the White Peak is Winot's Pass, a steep, winding limestone valley near Castleton, carved out by glacial meltwater and prone to dramatic mists and echoing winds. Its name means windy gates, and it's both visually stunning and historically chilling. Peak District's real historic significance lies in the 1932 mass trespass on Kinder Scout, when a group of working-class ramblers defied the law to claim the right to walk on private moorland. Their protests sparked a national movement that ultimately led to the creation of the national park system and the right to roam. With its deep-rooted history, ecological variety, and iconic landscapes, the Peak District isn't just a park. It's a symbol of public rights, national identity, and geological wonder. Jurassic Coast World Heritage Site. What if you could walk through 185 million years of Earth's history, layer by layer, cliff by cliff? That's exactly what the Jurassic Coast offers. Stretching 96 miles along the southern coast of England from Exmouth in East Devon to Studland Bay in Dorset, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is Britain's only natural World Heritage Site and a geological time capsule like no other. It spans the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous periods, giving students and scientists alike a rare chance to study Earth's history exposed in plain sight. Two of the most iconic landmarks here are Durdle Door and Lulworth Cove, both located near the village of West Lulworth. Durdle Door is a massive natural limestone arch formed over thousands of years by coastal erosion, a striking example of how the sea shapes the land. It's one of the most photographed spots in England and a textbook case of differential erosion. Just around the headland is Lulworth Cove, a perfectly circular bay formed by wave energy cutting through layers of softer rock behind a harder limestone band. This cove is one of the best places in the world to see how geological forces create complex coastal landforms. And at the eastern end of the coast stands Old Harry Rocks, jagged chalk stacks that once connected to the Isle of Wight before erosion broke them apart, leaving these iconic sea pillars behind. The area has yielded countless fossils, especially around Lyme Regis and Charmouth, where early 19th century fossil hunter Mary Anning made some of the most significant paleontological discoveries of her time, including the first complete Ichthyosaurus and Plesiosaurus skeletons. These discoveries not only revolutionized scientific understanding but also helped lay the groundwork for the theory of evolution. Today, the Jurassic Coast is an outdoor classroom, attracting geologists, paleontologists, and curious visitors. Puzzlewood. Could a forest be magical enough to inspire the Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and Harry Potter? That forest is Puzzlewood, a mysterious woodland in the forest of Dean, Gloucestershire, where nature has sculpted a landscape straight out of fantasy. Covering just 14 acres, Puzzlewood is unlike any other woodland in England. It's a rare example of scowls, sunken, moss-covered hollows and pathways formed by prehistoric erosion of limestone, later deepened by centuries of iron or mining dating back to the Roman period. The Romans used the forest's iron deposits to fuel the empire's expansion. Archaeological remains, including coins and pottery, have been unearthed here. But it's not just history that makes Puzzlewood special. It's the atmosphere. Twisting roots, moss-draped rocks, and narrow passageways create a dreamlike setting that has captivated artists and directors for decades. J.R.R. Tolkien is believed to have visited Puzzlewood, and many say its eerie beauty influenced his descriptions of Middle-earth's forests. More recently, the woodland has served as a filming location for Star Wars, The Force Awakens, Doctor Who, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Ecologically, it supports ancient woodland species such as hazel, oak, and ash, along with bats, badgers, and rare lichens. It's a living fairy tale where geology, history, and myth intertwine, perfect for sparking imagination and inquiry in curious minds. Yorkshire Dales National Park. What do ancient Norse names, Iron Age hill forts, and underground rivers have in common? You'll find all of them in the Yorkshire Dales National Park. Spanning over 2,100 square kilometers in northern England, the Dales are a dynamic patchwork of limestone valleys, windswept moorland, and rolling green hills shaped by centuries of human activity and geological forces. The term dale comes from the Old Norse word dalr. One of the park's most distinctive features is its limestone landscape, home to dramatic formations like Malham Cove, a towering cliff with a curved amphitheater shape formed by glacial meltwater at the end of the last ice age. Beneath the surface, the park holds one of the most extensive cave systems in the UK, including Gaping Gill, a 98-meter deep natural shaft that could fit St. Paul's Cathedral inside. Historically, the Dales have been inhabited since prehistoric times, with evidence of Bronze Age burial mounds, Roman roads, and medieval monastic ranges. Dry stone walls, many of which are over 200 years old, crisscross the fields, dividing land still used for sheep farming. The area was officially designated as a national park in 1954 and expanded in 2016 to include parts of the Howgill Fells and Orton Fells. Today, it's a haven for hikers, geologists, and ecologists alike, offering over 5,000 kilometers of walking paths and habitats for species such as red squirrels, peregrine falcons, and rare wildflowers. South Downs National Park. This is a park connects Bronze Age burial mounds, medieval sheep farming, and modern dark sky reserves. South Downs National Park, England's newest national park, officially designated in 2010, yet steeped in thousands of years of human history and natural beauty. Stretching across 1,600 square kilometers from Winchester to Eastbourne, the park protects a sweeping chalk ridge known as the South Downs, as well as the wooded Weald to the north. The South Downs National Park encompasses a wide variety of landscapes. Here's some iconic landscapes in the park. Chalk downlands. The most iconic feature is the rolling chalk hills, which give the park its name. The Seven Sisters Cliffs. These magnificent white chalk cliffs along the East Sussex coast are a globally recognized landmark and a highlight of the park's eastern edge. Ancient woodlands. The park is surprisingly well wooded, with ancient woodlands like Kingley Vale National Nature Reserve, home to ancient yew trees, some over 2,000 years old. Lowland heaths. These rare habitats, found in areas like Woolmere Forest, are crucial for wildlife, supporting all 12 of Britain's native reptile and amphibian species. River valleys. Several beautiful rivers flow through the park, including the Itchen and Meon, which are chalk streams supporting diverse wetland habitats and wildlife like otters and water voles. Dark skies. The South Downs is one of only 16 international dark sky reserves in the world, offering incredible opportunities for stargazing due to its low light pollution. The park's chalk grasslands, a rare and threatened habitat, are often called Europe's rainforests in miniature due to their immense biodiversity, hosting over 40 species of butterfly and countless wildflowers per square meter. Seven Sisters Cliffs. Why do geography textbooks often feature a picture of the Seven Sisters? Because these gleaming white chalk cliffs, part of the South Downs National Park in East Sussex, are a textbook example of coastal erosion and cliff formation. Stretching between Seaford and Eastbourne, the Seven Sisters are a series of steep chalk headlands carved by centuries of relentless wave action and weathering. Their blinding whiteness comes from nearly pure calcium carbonate, deposited during the late Cretaceous period when much of southern England was submerged under a tropical sea. Unlike the nearby White Cliffs of Dover, the Seven Sisters remain largely undeveloped, preserving their natural grandeur. Each sister represents a different hilltop, with names like Haven Brow and Rough Brow, rising and falling in rhythm along the coast. The cliffs have served as a natural barrier, a military observation post during World War II, and a location for countless films and documentaries. They provide a perfect field site for studying longshore drift, mass movement, and the impact of rising sea levels. The surrounding grasslands also support rare wildlife and plants. Inland, you'll find the meandering Cuckmere River and its famous Oxbow Lakes, a classic case of fluvial geomorphology. The Seven Sisters offer a powerful lesson in the beauty and fragility of coastal landscapes and remind us that even the most iconic features are constantly being reshaped by the forces of nature. Cheddar Gorge. Ever wonder where Britain's oldest complete human skeleton was found, or why a massive limestone gorge exists in the middle of Somerset? Welcome to Cheddar Gorge, one of the UK's most spectacular natural landmarks and an extraordinary site for archaeology, geology, and adventure. This deep limestone ravine, stretching over 3 miles and plunging to depths of up to 137 meters, was formed during the last ice age when glacial meltwater carved through the rock. The gorge is riddled with caves, the most famous being Gough's Cave, where in 1903 explorers unearthed Cheddar Man, a Mesolithic human dating back over 9,000 years. DNA analysis in 2018 shocked many when it revealed that Cheddar Man likely had dark skin and blue eyes, challenging long-held assumptions about early Britons. But that's not the only story buried in these cliffs. Cheddar Gorge has yielded tools, bones, and remains from the Stone Age, providing one of the most continuous records of human occupation in Britain. The area is also home to a rich variety of flora and fauna, including species like the cheddar pink and the greater horseshoe bat. From a geological perspective, it's a showcase of karst topography, with visible layers of Carboniferous limestone exposed along the gorge walls. Today, it's a hotspot for rock climbers, spelunkers, and school trips, offering everything from high adrenaline activities to deeply educational experiences. Broads National Park. A medieval mistake created this Britain's most beloved wetland landscapes. The Broads National Park in Norfolk and Suffolk wasn't shaped by glaciers or tectonic forces. It was created by human hands. During the Middle Ages, monks dug out peat to use for fuel, unknowingly creating vast shallow pits. Over time, rising water levels flooded the pits, and by the 14th century, the area had transformed into a sprawling network of rivers, also called broads and reed beds. Officially designated as a national park in 1989, though managed separately under the Broads Authority since 1988, the Broads cover over 300 square kilometers and boast more navigable waterways than Venice, over 200 kilometers in total. This lowland wetland is a biodiversity hotspot, home to some of the UK's rarest species, including the Norfolk hawker dragonfly, bitterns, and the swallowtail butterfly, which thrives on milk parsley found only in the Broads. The landscape also supports a traditional way of life. Reed cutting, eel fishing, and sailing continue to be important local practices. Historically, the Broads served as transportation routes for trade and agriculture, and today they are an important site for sustainable tourism and conservation. The area is particularly valuable for teaching about human-environment interaction, climate adaptation, and habitat management. With its slow-moving rivers, windmills, and mirror-like waters, the Broads National Park offers not just scenic beauty but a powerful lesson in how human activity can unintentionally create, and now must help protect, a precious ecological sanctuary. New Forest National Park. What do royal hunting grounds, ancient oaks, and free-roaming ponies have in common? They all meet in the New Forest National Park, a remarkable mosaic of woodland, heath, and pasture that stretches across Hampshire and parts of Wiltshire in southern England. Created as a royal forest by William the Conqueror in 1079, the area was originally set aside for deer hunting, an act that reshaped the landscape and left a lasting legal legacy known as forest law. Despite its name, the New Forest is anything but new. Many of its trees are over 500 years old. The forest was officially designated a national park in 2005, one of the most recent in the UK, but it has long been recognized for its unique blend of natural and cultural heritage. One of its most charming features is the presence of New Forest ponies, semi-wild horses that have grazed the land for centuries under the care of local commoners, who still exercise traditional grazing rights. The park also contains ancient barrows, Iron Age hill forts, and remnants of Roman roads. During World War II, parts of the forest were used for airfields and military training grounds, and evidence of that history can still be found hidden among the trees. The New Forest is now a center for conservation and environmental education, with programs focused on protecting rare heathland species. Its relatively flat terrain and extensive trail network make it an accessible destination. Valley of Rocks. Valley of Rocks, a surreal and windswept dry valley perched on the edge of the Exmoor coast in North Devon. Unlike most valleys, this one runs parallel to the sea and was likely carved by Ice Age meltwater before sea erosion separated it from the main river course. The result is a dramatic landscape of jagged tors, rocky outcrops, and steep slopes that plunge toward the Bristol Channel, all just west of the village of Lynton. The valley's unique geological formations, composed of slates and sandstones over 400 million years old, make it a fascinating site for studying coastal geomorphology and ancient rock structures. It's also home to a herd of feral goats, thought to have been introduced in the 19th century, who now roam freely across the cliffs and crags, an unusual wildlife spectacle. Culturally, the Valley of Rocks has long captured the imagination. Poets like Samuel Taylor Coleridge and William Wordsworth walked here in the early 1800s, and Victorian tourists flocked to see its strange, romantic scenery. Local folklore speaks of giants who once hurled rocks at each other, creating the valley's chaotic landscape. Today, the area is part of Exmoor National Park and offers walking trails that connect dramatic natural features like Mother Meldrum's Cave and Castle Rock. White Cliffs of Dover. Can cliffs symbolize a nation's spirit? The White Cliffs of Dover have done just that for centuries, standing as both a physical and emotional symbol of England's identity. Located along the southeast coast in Kent, these towering chalk cliffs rise up to 110 meters above the English Channel and stretch for about 13 kilometers. Their dazzling white color comes from pure calcium carbonate, a remnant of millions of years of compacted marine plankton from the late Cretaceous period. What makes these cliffs more than just a geological marvel is their deep historical significance. In both world wars, they served as a defensive lookout and a last glimpse of home for departing soldiers. In World War II, the tunnels within the cliffs were used as secret military command centers, including one from which the Dunkirk evacuation was coordinated in 1940. The site has inspired poets and patriots alike, most famously referenced in Vera Lynn's wartime anthem, "There'll be bluebirds over the White Cliffs of Dover." The cliffs also play a key ecological role, supporting rare chalk grassland habitats with butterflies like the Adonis blue and plants such as wild thyme and rock rose. They're managed in part by the National Trust, which works to preserve their fragile structure from erosion and climate impact. From a classroom point of view, the cliffs are a brilliant case study in coastal geomorphology, biology, and historical defense strategy, all rolled into one iconic landscape. Wistman's Wood. This is a place in England where the forest looks like something out of a fairy tale, or even a ghost story. Wistman's Wood, one of the few remaining fragments of an ancient temperate rainforest, tucked away on Dartmoor in Devon, covering just 8 acres. This twisted oak woodland is small but utterly unique. Its dwarf oak trees are stunted and gnarled, draped in mosses, lichens, and ferns that thrive in the cool, misty climate. The woodland sits at about 1,200 feet above sea level, making it one of the highest oak woods in Britain. Wistman's Wood has likely existed since the post-Ice Age era, with some of the oaks estimated to be over 400 years old. Culturally, it has long held a place in local folklore, rumored to be haunted or inhabited by mythical creatures such as the Wished Hounds, a ghostly pack said to roam the moors. Scientifically, the wood is a biodiversity hotspot, hosting over 120 species of lichen alone, making it an important site for ecological and climate studies. It's classified as a Site of Special Scientific Interest, SSSI, and a National Nature Reserve, because it has been largely untouched by human development. Wistman's Wood offers a rare glimpse into what much of England's upland forests might have looked like thousands of years ago. It's a living museum of ancient ecology, where geology, climate, The Needles. The Needles, dramatic chalk stacks rising from the sea at the western tip of the Isle of Wight. Despite the name, these jagged formations no longer resemble needles. A fourth, needle-like pillar known as Lot's Wife collapsed in a storm in 1764. What's left today are stark white towers jutting from the turquoise waters of the English Channel. Visible for miles and often photographed beside the red and white striped Needles Lighthouse, built in 1859 to prevent shipwrecks along this dangerous coastline. Geologically, the Needles are part of the same chalk formation as the South Downs and the Cliffs of Dover, but millions of years of tectonic folding and erosion have isolated them from the mainland. The surrounding area has rich military history. Nearby Needles Battery was a strategic defense point during both World Wars and even played a role in Britain's secret rocket testing programs during the Cold War. Today, you can explore the site and view launch pads still embedded in the clifftop. The area is also an SSSI site of special scientific interest, with unique flora and nesting seabirds. Here comes the end of this magical journey through the amazing nature of England. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another adventure. Got a favorite place in England? Or a destination you'd like us to cover next? Drop it in the comments, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, happy travels.